The reason for this video is because I've seen several people having trouble programming that speed control, whether they purchased it installed in a car, like we have here in our Ruckus. It's also in the Torment, and I believe some of the other like Vitera vehicles as well. Or you've bought the speed control and motor combo separately to install in your own car. You may have run into some problems trying to set that up. And the bottom line is the instruction manual for this speed control, of course this is part of it, this is for the Ruckus, but it talks about the speed control. So whether you get it in a car like this or you've got just a little instruction manual for the speed control, they were saying the same thing. And I was reminded of that when I had to program this before our test run. I ran into some difficulty with that in regards to their instructions. So what I was going to do is walk you through the steps of programming this speed control to your radio, and then setting up the different options that they tell you can in here. There's several different things, from drag brake to lipo cutoff to reverse, that sort of thing. First thing we want to do is connect your battery system. Now I'm connected to a lipo, but you may be running the nickel metal. Switch on your radio and make sure that if you're running the Spectrum or any other brand radio, except Futaba actually, you're going to want to have your throttle reversing set to normal, and then have your trim dead center. Okay, make sure that's done. The big problem with this is not so much setting the endpoints, the throttle, reverse, neutral. It is in here when we're trying to do something like turn off the lipo cutoff, for example, for our nickel metal battery. There is a chart here that talks about what the defaults are that are marked in black, and the other options that you can program, namely drag brake force, there's low voltage cutoff, start mode or like start power, max brake, and then running mode, whether you want forward with just brakes or forward and reverse. Getting into this portion of the programming is a lot harder than you would think. The problem is the book actually lies to you in the instructions, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's go through the procedure of setting up the throttle endpoints on this. Now, before we do this, I like to use some kind of a stand, elevate your back tires, just in case. You don't want this thing rocketing off. So let's go through that procedure. I'm going to zoom in even further here on this speed control. I'll move the truck forward a little bit. Now, what you're going to find here on our speed control, there is a green and red and orange LED right underneath this wire set right here. Then our button here, our on-off switch, also has a button right there. So what we have to do to set our throttle points, we're going to hold the button, turn on the speed control, and if I can, and then pay attention to this LED. It's going to go green. When it goes green, we let go of the button. Then we hold the stick at neutral, touch the button, it blinks once. You go full throttle, touch the button again, it blinks twice, and then go reverse. So let's try that. Hold the button, turn it on. Okay, we're in setup. Push the button, that is setting neutral. Go full throttle, touch the button again. That's full throttle. Reverse, 3 blinks, and we're done. Release the throttle back to neutral and turn off the speed control. And that has set our throttle position. So when we turn the speed control back on, we get throttle movement. Now you'll notice the red LED will turn on anytime there's throttle movement. So we go reverse, if it will. Forward, brakes, reverse. Forward, brakes, reverse. Okay, looking good. That's looking good. Now comes the hard part. And the big problem here is that the instructions lie to you. Oops, sorry about that. The instructions lie to you. I'm going to read this. ESC functions and modes. Programming the ESC. Connect fully charged battery. We've done that. Power on the ESC. We've done that. Hold the set button for 1 second until the green LED blinks. Then release the set button to enter programming mode. Perfect. We know how to do that. Step number 4. Press the set button as needed to get to the desired menu option. The green LED will blink corresponding to the menu item number. Step number 5. When at the desired menu item, hold the set button for 3 seconds until the red LED blinks. The red LED does not blink, and that's probably where a lot of people are confused about that. Then it says, press the set button to move among the settings based on how many times the red LED blinks. Once again, the red LED does not blink, folks. It is green. The green one is the one we need. Green, it's all green. Just think green. Not red, green. And that's what confuses people on this speed control. Save the settings by holding the set button for 3 seconds. Power off the ESC switch and repeat the instructions to change other settings. Now, in this book, as we go back to our chart, I'm going to hold this back a way. Well, let's see. Let's zoom back out really quick. Wrong way. Zoom back out. Okay. In this book, there are the menu items are here. Number 1 is running mode, 2 is drag brake, 3 is low voltage cutoff, 4 is start mode, and 5 is max brake force. And then the black is the default settings. So let's say, for example, it comes from the factory with 2.6 volts per cell cutoff. And we want to run a nickel metal battery, let's say, so we want to turn that off. All right, so what we've got to do is ignore the red LED that it says in the book. Everything is green, not red. Let's zoom back in and see if we can't get this thing to turn off the low voltage cutoff. So we got to hold the button for 1 second and the green LED starts blinking. Perfect. Now we're going to touch it, and it beeped once. That's telling us it's in setup mode number 1. We want setup mode number 3. That's setup mode 2, setup mode 3. Now here's where it says a red LED blinks, but it doesn't. We want to enter that mode. Press and hold. Okay, notice it was green. Yeah, no red LED blinks. All right, we want to have program value number 1. Right now I'm set at 3 volts per cell, so we need to go until it blinks once. There's 5, 6, 1, and that's 0, no protection, low voltage is cut off. 1 blink. Press and hold. Green LED blinks and it's done. Turn off the speed control and turn it back on. Now low voltage is turned off. Now let's say, for example, we want to have, like I had, 3 volts per cell. Let's get back into there. Press and hold the button. There's our green LED blinking. Press it. That's our menu system. Right now we're at running mode. 2 blinks is drag force. Low voltage cutoff. Press and hold. It's going to blink once because it's on no protection. It's turned off. 2 blinks is factory. That's 2.6. 3 blinks is 2.8. 4 blinks is 3 volts per cell. Well, that's what we want. Well, that's what I want. Okay, that's set. Turn it off. Turn it back on. Now, let's say, for example, you want to, turn up your drag brake force. Again, ignore when it says the red LED. Everything is green. So drag brake is menu number 2. So press and hold. There's our program mode. Press it. Number 1 is running mode. 2 is drag brake. Press and hold. Alright, I've got drag brake right now set at 3 blinks, which is 10%. Let's say we want to turn that up just to be crazy. Let's go up to 6 blinks is 25%. So 4, 5, 6. And notice it'll blink again. The motor also makes a little pitch noise. We're going to set that 25% drag brake. That'll make it nose over when we jump, won't it? Alright, turn it off, turn it back on. The motor makes a little bit of a chirp noise as well as the blink. I don't know if you can hear that in the camera or not. Now, one last thing I want to show you is if you completely bollocks this up and your speed control doesn't have reverse, things aren't cut off right, you can completely reset this system. Now, if you completely reset it, you need to go through the steps to program your throttle endpoints again, neutral, calibration, and so on. You have to completely start over. But just for the sake of doing that, let's try that. Now, what we need to do to reset this thing is have it on and press and hold this until the I believe the yellow and green ESC will actually turn on, or yellow and green LED will turn on. But let's find out. Press and hold for at least 5 seconds. There it is, right there. Factory reset. Turn it off, turn it back on. Notice how it's flashing a little bit red now? That's an indicator that our neutral position is not quite set up perfect. Things are a little bit off. We've got to go through that procedure again. So, we're going to turn off speed control, hold the button, turn it back on. That's neutral. Hold full throttle, click it again. Hold full reverse, click it again, and we're done. Turn it off, it's back on. All right, now we should have forward, reverse, and everything so on. Now you can go back in and use the steps again to set, the options you want. I like 10% drag brake. Hold it, touch it. We want mode 2, hold it. Okay, we want 3 blinks. Perfect, hold it. Done, turn it off, turn it back on. I also like 3 volts per cell cut off on my LiPo. So we're gonna hold it, get in, touch it. That's running mode, drag brake, low voltage. Hold that. 2 blinks, that's 2.6. We need 4 blinks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that. Done. And that is calibrated, and that's why you put it on a stand. All right, and that's all there is to it. Just completely ignore the book when it says the red LED blinks, because it just obviously does not. And that's probably what's confusing you and what has led you to find this video. I hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.